We urge the United States to abide by the One China principle and the three China-US joint communiques, earnestly honor its commitment not to supporting the separatist forces in Taiwan, immediately stop arming Taiwan, and cease its dangerous moves that undermine peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait.
In a sharp warning to both the United States and Taiwan, China has made its stance crystal clear. Any attempt at Taiwanese independence will be met with severe consequences. Beijing has signaled that military measures are already in place to ensure national unification, and the stakes could not be higher. Speaking at a press briefing on Thursday, Zhang Xiaogang, spokesperson for China's Ministry of National Defense, issued a chilling message. Resisting unification by force will lead to a dead end. His words, laden with intent, underlined the unyielding position China has taken on this issue.
Taiwan is China's Taiwan and allows no external interference. How the PLA will fight against independence and promote unification is not something that Taiwan independent separatist forces need to consider. Resisting unification by force will lead to a dead end. The more brazen the provocations of separatist forces, attempts to seek independence, the tighter the noose around their necks.
This stark warning comes amidst rising military tensions. PLA activities around Taiwan have intensified, and while Zhang refused to comment on reports of large-scale PLA naval maneuvers near Taiwan, his words suggested Beijing's unpredictable military readiness is closer than ever.
We have responded to the relevant matter. There are two sentences that left the deepest impression on me. As water has no constant form, there are in warfare no constant conditions. Whether there is a military exercise or not, the PLA will never be absent in fighting Taiwan independence and promoting national reunification. Any attempt to split the nation through soliciting external support or resorting to force will be punished and will never succeed.
In another forceful condemnation, China blasted the newly signed U.S. defense bill. The bill, which allocates a staggering $895 billion for military spending, is seen as a direct move to counter China's growing influence. Beijing wasted no time in denouncing the legislation, claiming it inflates the China military threat to justify escalating tensions and military expansion.
The relevant bill of the U.S. hyped up the so-called China military threat and used this as an excuse to increase military spending and maintain its hegemony. This grossly interferes with China's internal affairs and undermines world peace and stability. We are strongly dissatisfied with and firmly opposed to it. China has never intended to challenge anyone. The biggest enemy of the U.S. is itself. The U.S. military expenditure has topped the world and keeps increasing every year. This fully exposes the belligerent nature of the U.S. and its obsession with hegemony and expansion.
As tensions mount, Zhang also criticized the deployment of the U.S. Typhon mid-range missile system in the northern Philippines. With Tomahawk missiles capable of reaching over 1,000 miles, the system now places U.S. weaponry dangerously close to Chinese territory, fueling Beijing's fears of a strategic encirclement.
China firmly opposes the U.S. deployment of the mid-range missile system in the Philippines. The Philippine side caters to the U.S. and attempts to introduce the Typhon mid-range missile system, instigating geopolitical confrontations and arms race and intensifying regional tensions. We think that the Philippine side should recognize the high sensitivity and serious harm of this issue, remove the mid-range missile system as publicly promised previously, and stop jeopardizing the security interests of the region, countries, and peoples.
Further escalating the situation, China has accused the Philippines of encroaching on its territorial waters in the South China Sea. The Philippine government, according to Zhang, has repeatedly violated China's sovereignty with Coast Guard and fishing vessels, fueling unnecessary international confusion. Yet, Zhang remained resolute. Beijing will not tolerate this provocation, urging the Philippines to change course before matters spiral out of control.
The Philippines repeatedly organized its Coast Guard vessels and fishing boats to violate China's territorial sovereignty and maritime rights and interests, and undermines peace and stability of the South China Sea region. It attempts to elicit sympathy by playing victim and to cause confusion in the international community. This will never work. China urges the Philippines to immediately change course and return to the right track of resolving issues through negotiation and consultation.
As China strengthens its military presence in the region, Taiwan is also gearing up for a confrontation. The island continues to bolster its defense capabilities, knowing the threat is real, as Beijing escalates its activities. In a strategic move, Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense revealed on December 21st that the US had notified Congress of a $30 million arms deal. The package includes Mk 7576mm gun parts, transport containers, and vital logistical support. Under the Taiwan Relations Act and the 6 assurances, this deal is expected to take effect within a month, marking a significant step in Taiwan's defense posture against the growing threat from the PLA. The Ministry of National Defense emphasized that these weapons are vital for countering the escalating pressure from the PLA. The Mk 7576mm guns will provide critical support in Taiwan's defense strategy, particularly in the face of PLA gray zone operations, which aim to wear down Taiwan's defenses with persistent and mounting pressure. Over the past few days, PLA military activities around Taiwan have escalated. From December 23rd, 24, 8 PLA aircraft and 5 planned vessels were detected near Taiwan. 6 aircraft crossed the Taiwan Straits median line, entering Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, ADs. Taiwan's forces swiftly responded, deploying combat air patrols and naval vessels. The situation further intensified on December 24th, 25, with 3 PLA aircraft and 6 planned vessels operating near Taiwan. 1 PLA aircraft entered Taiwan's eastern ADs. By December 25th, 26, 5 planned vessels were reported around Taiwan, though no PLA aircraft were detected in the region during this time.